So, some people are saying, what's the benefit of Europe over, say, South America or Asia? There's a couple of different reasons for that, and I tried to sort of address some of those issues on the framework that we look at when we evaluate places to invest in or to migrate to. One of the things that you want to take into consideration is the stability of local governments and federal governments. So Europe has basically set up a framework, particularly within the EU, so that the taxation systems and the running of local governments and infrastructure are well catered for, and it's a well-oiled machine, as opposed to, say, other places, particularly in, say, South America, where you don't have those sort of laws or infrastructure put in place. So the stability of your government and infrastructure is not as good. Regulation around banking and very low fraud. That's the other thing that you want to take into consideration when you're looking at a place. So one of the benefits for Australia when people were looking to invest there was that it had ease of doing business, low fraud, and good banking services. Where basically when you get to some of the South American places, it's not so good. Even some of the Asian places, I know there's a lot of people who, particularly on the comments feed or on the forum, have basically been saying that they're into Thailand or the Philippines, and that's fine. I mean, it's just a matter of whether or not that's an investment grade location. So there are a lot of people, particularly in the Asia Pacific region, who basically bought property, say for example Thailand, and they're happy with their properties and they don't cost a lot of money compared to other places like the UK or Australia. But when they want to liquidate them, it's not that easy. Easy to buy, very difficult to liquidate. So that's some of the things that you want to take into consideration. So you want to see low fraud, good banking services that are highly regulated, and sophisticated investment opportunities. And you want to see that you've got good infrastructure, and the local and federal government manages the infrastructure well. So the other thing that you want to see is low crime, and that's the other thing that worries me about some of the South American places, is that the crime is particularly bad. And when I'm talking crime, I'm talking particularly brutal and just aggressive crime. And that's some of the problems that you've got at the moment with mass immigration into North America from Central and South America, is that you're seeing really bad assaults, physical and sexual assaults go through the roof. So that's some of the things that you need to take into consideration when you're considering relocating. And it's one of the benefits of Europe. As I said, with say Athens, for example, I've never felt unsafe. Yeah, sure, there's a few migrants that come through as they trying to get north to say, Germany, etc. But all in all, most of it is pretty safe and mundane, so there's not too many problems. So just keep that in mind when you're wanting to relocate, because it's one thing to say that you want to get out. It's another thing to find the right location and the infrastructure to support what it is that you want to do, and whether or not it's going to be feasible in the long run, because you could literally be jumping out of the fry pan into the fire. So yeah, so keep that in mind. There are a few things to take into consideration. A lot of that information is already online, so it's easy enough to find. It's like I was saying about Ecuador the other day. They've just entered a state of emergency to fight the drug cartels. I'm sorry, but I'm not interested in being stuck in a place where there's a war between the government and government forces and drug cartels. I don't want to be anywhere near that. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at stuff. I mean, Asia, as I said, geopolitically, when you look at Asia, you know that it's on the cusp of destabilizing, particularly with a potential conflict with China in the South China Sea. And then you've got territorial rights, fishing rights, and free economic zones. It's just a bit of a nightmare. So just keep that in mind. I've got friends who basically love the idea of, say, a Thailand or Philippines, and might be nice for a holiday. Certainly not something that I'd be looking at for the long term. Could be a good playground if you're going to follow the PT 5 flags, Perpetual Traveller 5 flags framework. But as I've said to you before, I consider that a guide. I don't consider that to be, say, like gospel, where you follow that framework to the nth degree. I just don't think it's worth it. And things are changing pretty rapidly now. So, all right, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the subscribe and the bell notification so that you're kept up to date on all the latest videos. And don't forget to go to overseas-exile.com and sign up, subscribe, and go to the Facebook group and join. So it's called Overseas Exiles. So get on there. All right, guys, have a lovely rest of the day.